Okay, good morning, everybody. It is the morning of November 5th, 2025, and I wanted to do a knee jerk reaction to the off year elections last night. We had elections in New Jersey, New York City, Georgia, uh, Virginia, and some other elections in places like California and Pennsylvania. Uh, Before I get into that, I want to say, as always, welcome to all the new subscribers. Been a bunch of you lately. Thank you for all the comments. Everyone's sending in. I've been trying much harder to do a better job responding to comments, even if it's just a thank you for the video, just to let people know I am reading them and I do appreciate them. So please keep them coming. The And by the way, no comment is off limits. Say anything you want to say. I do not believe in echo chambers. If it's your opinion or if it's just a comment you want to make, because go for it, whatever. It's totally fine with me. Okay, knee jerk reaction last night. Republicans got crushed. As you know, I'm very much a Republican, so I'm not thrilled with these results, obviously. Um, there will be a lot of dissecting of them and a lot of narratives are going to break out. I will point out, just to give you an idea how bad the crushing was. Obviously, the Democrats romped in places like New Jersey and in the Virginia gubernatorial race. But if you go down ballot in a place like Virginia to the state House seats, for instance, you see Democrats just flip seat after seat after seat. I know the last time I checked last night, they had already flipped at least 9, and I think they were on track to flip something like 13 or 14. I'll be honest, I didn't check to see where that ultimately ended up, but they had already flipped so many, and it appeared several more were coming. There were statewide races in Georgia last night that the Democrats won easily in Georgia. Georgia is a very unique state. It is a very red state that does not like Donald Trump. And although he won in 2024, he lost there in 2020, and Georgia has consistently rejected his MAGA candidates. So either way, Pennsylvania, there were school board races, and all the Republicans, all of them in some of these in Bucks County, lost. Even ones that are incumbent who had won their last couple of races, you would have thought they would have been at least somewhat safe. Nope, wiped out. So basically, top to bottom, an absolute shellacking for the Republicans. Knee-jerk reaction. I was able to see some of the exit polling. I went to the gym last night to work out, and they had the news channels on. I was watching them. Was Trump a factor? The answer, yes, and he was a significant factor, but I would not say he was a primary factor. To the extent that he was a factor, based on the exit polling I could see from some of the states, namely Virginia and New Jersey, he was a factor for 35-40% of the voters, and overwhelmingly for those people he was a factor for, they were voting against the Republicans as a protest of Trump. So it would appear that in those states, Trump was a very significant drag on the GOP. In Georgia, I have not seen the exit polling, but based on the election results, I feel confident saying the same thing's probably true there. In terms of top issues, economy, 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 economy. Trump can tweet golden age, boom, and you're going to be so rich till he is blue in the face, and nobody cares when it comes time to cast a ballot. Biden thought the same thing, that if they just said inflation's not going to happen, no, it's not really happening, no, it's going to be transitory, oh, it's all now it's all just corporate greed, and they kept trying to change it, and when it did finally start to come down, so look, we're beating inflation, it's down to only 6% after it was 9%. What a job we've done. It's ridiculous. As it turned out, none of that actually helped. People don't care about your optics. I have good optics, I have good messaging. When people go to the grocery store and the prices are higher this week than they were last week, they get upset. When people lose jobs, they get upset. When people cannot find jobs, they get upset. When young people cannot buy houses, even though they have full-time jobs, are saving money and have good credit scores, they get upset. When people cannot sell their houses, they get upset. When people want to buy a car or some lumber or whatever, and prices just keep going higher, actually lumber prices are falling, it's probably a bad example, people get upset. But the point is, you can tweet till you are blue in the face, and you can have every cool saying and tough guy talk and all this other stuff, and you're good on TV, and this person's good on the podcast, and they look really good in that suit, and they can do push-ups, and they got tattoos, and they got muscles, and nobody gives a crap on election day. It is meaningless. People vote their pocketbooks, and right now, for the last 6 months, Americans' pocketbooks have been getting worse and worse and worse. I have detailed over many videos the economic data. And what I have found from the MAGA crew is that they just say, we don't believe it. We just don't believe it. They offer no contrary data, no contrary evidence. They do not say, okay, here's some other actual reliable data that shows that this is not true. They just say, I don't believe it. Well, here's the kicker. The people who are the swing voters sure as hell believe what they're feeling. By the way, I do all the grocery shopping in my family. I can tell you prices just keep going up. What the MAGA crew has started is, well, look at the egg prices. We had a bird flu outbreak at the very beginning of the year, which sent egg prices spiking to incredible levels. Naturally, they have come down since then because the bird flu has passed. And they said, well, see, this proves Trump's bringing prices down. No, Trump did absolutely nothing to bring prices down. We had a bird flu outbreak. It passed. Prices are returning to normal. They are dropping not because of a policy, but because bird flu passed. Egg prices are actually still still a little higher than they have been over the last few years. They're a lot lower than they were in that January, February, March area where the bird flu was just rampant. But everything else is getting higher. You look at the beef price, it's huge. Electricity prices are going higher and higher. Housing prices, they're actually starting to fall now, but have continued to rise throughout the first half of the year. Car prices keep getting higher. On and on and on the list goes. The unemployment rate keeps going up. The length of time it takes for someone to find a job keeps going up. The number of houses being sold is going down. The average age or the median age of a home buyer is going up, meaning younger people are priced out of the market. So basically, every metric we have says things are getting worse. If you are under the opinion that we're one tweet away, or one cool video away, or one good optic event away, guys, no one cares. I cannot tell you that enough. Let's see here. Any other real takeaways from this one? Nothing about the Democrat candidates I thought were particularly special. One interesting thing, the Virginia race, the Republican nominee was an African American woman, and African Americans and white women voted for the white woman instead. So if you want to know how strong party loyalty is, for African American voters, they will vote for a white Democrat over a black Republican. So if you are a Republican, you're thinking diversity, we need more diverse candidates that will help us with African American candidates. That is not so. Now, I'm not sure about Hispanic candidates. I don't really have a good feel for that. But on the African American side, guys, we can run black Republicans all we want. It's not going to help us with the black vote. Now, that being said, Winsome Sears was probably the best option for the GOP. She'd been the lieutenant governor. She had the incumbent role. Youngkin was fairly popular. I'm not saying she was a bad candidate, and I'm not saying that we should never run African American candidates. We should run the best candidates we can. Sometimes those will be African American. We should absolutely do that. What I'm saying is, don't bank on the fact that we're going to somehow pick up a big chunk of the black vote. We will not. Okay. Anything else? From a knee-jerk reaction, no. I think that really about covers it. Other than I will just say, the GOP has a choice to make. They're going to find ways to get the cost of living under control, to improve the employment situation, which means getting rid of Trump's tariffs. Or they're going to keep Trump happy, and they're all going to lose their jobs. So those are their options, and they're going to... Oh, government shutdown. I'm sorry. Did that factor in? According to the exit polling, yes, much more so in Virginia than in other places. To the extent it was a factor, it was very negative for Republicans. Something to remember, this is a heuristic I live by. Whoever controls the White House is the incumbent party. Whoever does not control the White House is the challenger party. The incumbent party gets the credit for when things go right and the blame for when things go wrong. Whether they had anything to do with it or not is largely irrelevant. If your party holds the presidency and the other party has everything else and something goes bad, the party that holds the presidency gets blamed. Same thing, but if something goes good, the party that holds the presidency gets the credit. So Trump is going to get a lot of blame for things that he does not deserve. He's going to get credit for things that he does not deserve. That was true for Biden, it was true for Obama, it was true for Bush, it's true for all of them. It will be true for whoever the next president is, regardless of party. So something to keep in mind when you're thinking about incumbent versus challenger parties. The incumbent party is always, in my opinion, the party that holds the White House, regardless of who has the Senate, the House, governorships, state legislatures, the mayor, the city controller, whatever. It's the as far as best I can tell, Americans view, if you hold the presidency, you're the incumbent party for all elections. Local school board, dog catcher, whatever. That's the incumbent party. And that's who they're going to take out their anger and frustration on. All right, bye-bye.